Hey everyone, it's Katie, Reverend Dr. Katie. I am glad to be here with all of you. It is Tuesday, right at noon where I live. It is March 13th, and I hope everyone's doing really well. It's raining buckets where I live, and California desperately needs the rain, so no complaints at all. But if someone would come walk my dog in the rain, I would appreciate it. Other than that, things are really good here. So we've had a really great question come up on the alignment or the misalignment of the Christian practice of laying on of hands and practices like Reiki or other healing modalities that use hands and touch as part of safe healing. And so I know a lot of us feel conflict about doing any kind of energy work because we have a really, really loud voice in the back of our head that comes from a particular branch of Christianity that says this kind of work is not aligned with God, but is instead aligned with, you fill in the blank, demons, demonic portals, Satan. People will say all kinds of things, usually very unspecific in this sense. So I know a lot of you have experienced significant pain because of this, because those voices kind of stay with us for a really long time. But when you follow your own gifts to do your own energy work or receive energy work, then we are following our own intuition and spirit, but that can be really, really hard to do when we do have this history and maybe even relatives or close friends telling us that these kind of things are wrong. And that prevents a lot of us from A, either exploring them to begin with, or B, from developing our own gifts. And I know there's a lot of people out there whose gifts are very undeveloped or sometimes kind of out of control because they haven't had the opportunity to safely explore them because they're so worried about doing work with like forces of evil or something like that. So if this describes you in any sense of the word, let me know in one of the comments or send me a private message so that I can help kind of sort that out with you. I think there's probably some options for you. And so then we have the question of laying on of hands in the Christian tradition. So in my particular Christian tradition, we use laying on of hands to bless people, especially people who are maybe very sick, maybe very ill. We use laying on of hands, the act of ordaining someone. So when I was ordained, the community laid hands on me in a very powerful way. I have instrumented laying on of hands by the community for people in need of deep healing, and to commission people for a particular service to equip people to go do the calling that they are called to do. And this is a really powerful expression of God's Spirit and of the Christian community. And I would say that the major difference between the laying on of hands in the Christian tradition and this other kind of energy work, whatever it may be, is that one is the act of a community. A whole group of people does this on behalf of an individual. And the people may or may not be particularly gifted in energy work, but just the act of laying on of hands and transferring that kind of energy is very powerful. And that kind of does the work itself with the Spirit of God. Whereas Reiki and other modalities are usually one-on-one or very small groups. We don't usually do that in large groups, although they can be done from time to time. That's usually a trusted practitioner with a client. And so just so you know, I just became a Reiki 1 practitioner on Sunday, and I am really excited about it. And I see this as a complement to my calling as a Christian minister. So the language we use in Reiki is the universal life energy. Reiki calls on this universal life energy. I believe that that energy is created and sustained by our heavenly creator, by God. Not every Reiki practitioner does, of course. So I've got to tell you, I've had both kinds of work. I've had Reiki, other energy work done on me. I do energy work on behalf of other people, for other people with clients. And I've had laying on of hands when I was ordained and other instances in my Christian walk. And they're really, really different kinds of energies. So the energies intersect, but they're not identical. So I hope that that makes sense. So what we're looking for are points of compatibility, not sameness. The universe is way too wild and free and wonderful for everything to be exactly the same, yet we do find oneness in many of these practices. So really what I am interested in for all of you who are asking these questions is helping you find those points of intersection so that they make sense with your own Christian walk. And that's really, really important. If you are living in deep conflict and deep pain and deep trauma over these voices that are telling you that what you're doing is not holy, you can never move forward. You have to deal with those first. I can help you do that. That's one of the major callings in life. I love to help people break past some of those barriers and help you understand the deep work of the Bible, of Scripture, of how to read and interpret Scripture, of how to interpret your own experiences. Because many of you are having these major experiences and you're on your own and you don't know how to make sense of them. And I would love to help you do that. So you will see comments from time to time like Jesus was a Reiki master. There might be a little bit of truth to that. I love that image. But that's actually not quite the case. Again, we're looking for how the work that Jesus did, the healing work that Jesus did, that Jesus calls us to do as well, intersects with ancient belief systems about energy and intersects with our contemporary system of energy work. And they do intersect. So if you are someone who feels this kind of guilt, shame that prevents you from becoming the healer that God calls you to be, send me a message today so that we can start to work on that together. God is calling you to a life of being healed. And when you are healed, then you are in a position to heal others. So let's get it done. Great to talk to you. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.